Dear students, welcome back to physics online class. In the last class, we were discussing about the combination of capacitors by using standard values of capacitors, how to get the required value of capacitance in a particular circuit, that is possible using combination. In the last class, we completed the discussion on series combination. Let us recall what we have discussed in last class. See, two or more capacitors are said to be in series when the combination is connected to some external potential difference. If only one path is available for the flow of charge, then the capacitors are said to be in series. Okay. So we connected two capacitors C1 and C2 in series so that only one path is available for the flow of charge in this case. Now in case of series combination, remember this point, when number of capacitors, it may be 2 or it may be 3 or it may be n number of capacitors, when n number of capacitors are connected in series, amount of charge stored in each capacitor is equal or same. If first capacitor, in case of first capacitor, if Q is the amount of charge stored, then same amount of charge will be stored in second capacitor. If there are 3, then in third capacitor also same charge, or if there are n number of capacitors, each capacitor will store a charge of magnitude Q. So Q is same or equal in series combination. Okay, next, if you consider the potential difference, whatever the applied potential difference across the combination, it gets divided into number of parts. If there are two capacitors, the applied voltage gets divided into 2 parts. If there are 3 parts. If there are n capacitors, then applied voltage gets divided into n number of parts. Okay. Now in this case, we consider 2 capacitors. See, this QV value, it is inversely proportional to C, because we know that V is equal to Q divided by C. Since Q is same for all the capacitors, V depends on C. Okay, V depends on C. Remember these two conditions in case of series combination. Next, in this part or in this circuit, applied voltage is V. It gets divided into 2 parts. Therefore, we can write V is equal to V1 plus V2. V1 plus V2. But V1 is the potential difference across first capacitor, which is given by Q divided by C1. Here Q is same, therefore not Q1 or Q2. It is simply Q divided by C1. Next capacitor Q divided by C2. So these are the expressions for V1 and V2. We substitute the values. On simplification, we get V divided by Q is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. Okay. In the next step, we replaced the series combination by a single capacitor, that is called equivalent capacitor. That means a single capacitor which produces the same effect as that produced by the series combination. So that is the equivalent capacitor. If that is the case, then amount of charge stored in this capacitor also equal to Q only. So in case of series combination, charge stored in individual capacitors as well as equivalent capacitor or effective capacitance or total capacitance, it is equal to Q only. So we connected the equivalent capacitance between the same potential difference and we got this expression, or V by Q is equal to 1 by CS. This was the second expression. So by comparing these two, we got this expression 1 by CS is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2, and we considered the case of n number of capacitors in series as well as n number of identical capacitors in series. What is the effective capacitance? Okay. Now this series combination is used when you want to get a smaller value of capacitance using larger value of capacitance. Okay. Remember this thing. When n number of capacitors are connected in series, the effective value of the capacitance of that particular combination will be less than the minimum capacitance value used in the combination. If C1 is the minimum value of capacitance used in the combination, then this CS will be less than that C1. Okay, always if series combination gives smaller value of capacitance. Okay, so remember this point. Now with these ideas, let us move on to next combination, that is parallel combination of capacitors. Now in case of parallel combination, two or more than two capacitors are connected between same 2 points, like this. So in our syllabus, discussion is about the combination of two capacitors in parallel. Now this is C1 and this is C2. Okay, C1 and C2. Now both the capacitors are connected between same 2 points. Okay, between same 2 points. So first or left plate of two capacitors are connected together, right plates of two capacitors are connected together. Now this is parallel combination. Now if you apply a potential difference of V volt across the combination, remember this condition, if you apply a potential difference across the combination, if this is positive terminal and this is negative terminal of the battery, due to this battery, this capacitor gets charged, this capacitor also gets charged. That means there will be flow of charge in this path as well as in this path. If there are three capacitors, then three different paths will be available for the flow of charge. So combination is said to be parallel combination if there is more than more than one path is available for flow of charges. In case of series combination, only one path is available for the flow of charges, but in case of parallel combination, more than one path is available for flow of charges. Now the combination is said to be parallel combination. Okay. Now if you consider the parallel combination, see C1, it is connected between A and B. C2, it is also connected between A and B, and between the points A and B, we produced or we applied a potential difference of V volt. Therefore, potential difference across first is equal to potential difference across second capacitor. It can be represented as, or it is equal to V. That means in case of parallel combination, potential difference across each capacitor is same. In case of series combination, amount of charge is same, but potential difference is different. In case of parallel combination, potential difference across each capacitor is same. Next, if you consider the charge, we know that charge is given by V into C. Now V is same for C1 and C2. That means amount of charge Q stored in each capacitor that depends on the value of capacitance. If C1 and C2 are identical of same value, then Q1 will be equal to Q2. Otherwise, Q depends on C. So charge is different. Amount of charge stored in each capacitor is different because these two capacitors will be charged separately due to external source. So Q is proportional to C. If capacitance value is larger, more amount of charge will be stored in that capacitor. That is in case of parallel combination. See here, Q same, V is inversely proportional to C. Here V same, Q is directly proportional to C. Q value is different. Okay, Q is different. This is same. So here V is different for different capacitors. Okay. Now let Q1 be the amount of charge stored in first capacitor, positive and negative like this. Let Q2 be thus. It is different, therefore Q1 and Q2. Q1 and Q2 be the amount of charge stored in each capacitor. If that is the case, total charge stored in the combination. Okay, total charge stored in the combination. See, this capacitor stores a charge of magnitude Q1. This capacitor stores a charge of magnitude Q2. Therefore, total charge. Now if you connect this combination after charging the capacitors to some external device or external component, charge will flow from this capacitor as well as from this capacitor. That means in both the capacitors, useful charge is stored. Therefore, total charge stored in the combination is equal to Q1 plus Q2. If there are 3 capacitors, plus Q3. If there are n capacitors, plus etc. Qn. Okay. In series, useful charge is stored only between these 2 points. We have discussed this in previous class. So total charge stored in this combination is also equal to Q. But here charge is stored here as well as here. Both capacitors will store useful charge. Therefore, total charge stored in the combination is Q1 plus Q2. Now, what is Q1 now? Okay, what is Q1 now? We know that Q is equal to Vc. Potential difference across this capacitor is V. Its capacitance is C1. Therefore, we can write Q1 is equal to V into C1. Similarly, Q2 is equal to, now what is Q2? Q2, V is the potential difference, C2 is the capacitance. So now Q2 can be written as V into C2. Okay, V into C2. So therefore, Q is equal to this equation, Vc1 plus Vc2, Vc1 plus Vc2, or Q is equal to V into C1 plus C2. V is common, take it outside, C1 plus C2, or Q divided by V is equal to C1 plus C2. Okay, take it as equation number 1. Q divided by V is equal to C1 plus C2. Now what we do is, in the next step, okay, replace this parallel combination by a single capacitor. Same as in previous discussion. First we used series combination, then replaced this with an equivalent capacitor. That means the capacitor which produces same effect as that produced by the series combination. Now here also, let us replace the parallel combination between the points A and B by a single capacitor. I will represent CP notation here. P stands for parallel, CP. Now this is equivalent capacitance. If the combination is replaced by a single equivalent capacitor CP, like this, between the same 2 points A and B, we placed a single capacitor, its capacitance is equal to CP. Now this capacitor is said to be equivalent, or we can say that this capacitor is equivalent capacitor only when this single capacitor produces same effect as that produced by the parallel combination. That means when you connect this capacitor to the same potential difference of V volt, this capacitor must store a charge of magnitude Q. Now these two together will store a charge of magnitude Q. Now this capacitor is said to be equivalent if it stores the same amount of charge as that stored by the parallel combination. That means in this case, amount of charge stored in this capacitor will be Q. Okay, total charge stored in the combination and total charge stored in this capacitor is same, therefore Q is the charge. If that is the case, for this condition we can write amount of charge stored in Q, not QP, capacitor CP. Q is equal to, it is same as previous case, Q is equal to, now potential difference is V, capacitance is CP, V into CP. From this, Q divided by V is equal to CP, equation number 2. Okay. Now compare the equation 1 and equation 2. One is here, Q by V is equal to C1 plus C2, Q by V is equal to CP. On comparing from 1 and 2, equation 1 and 2, we can write CP, left hand side is same, therefore equate the right hand sides. CP is equal to C1 plus C2. So when two capacitors are connected in parallel, effective capacitance is given by the sum of capacitance of individual capacitors. CP is equal to C1 plus C2. It means if you connect to two capacitors in parallel, okay, in parallel, the effective value will be larger than the individual capacitance. If you want to get a larger capacitance using standard values, you can go for parallel combination of capacitors. Okay, parallel combination of capacitor. Now, if three capacitors are used, okay, if three capacitors are used, then CP is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3, general discussion. If n capacitors are connected in series, then parallel, then CP is equal to C1 plus C2 plus etc. plus Cn. Okay, just add the capacitance values. If n identical capacitors are connected in parallel, identical means C1 is equal to C2 is equal to C3 is equal to etc. Cn is equal to same value, that is equal to C. then Cp is given by C1 is C, C2 is C, plus C3 is C, plus etc. plus C, n number of capacitors. So Cp is equal to n times C. Okay. So equation that is required for competitive exams, it is not included in theory syllabus. Cp is equal to n into C, that is when n identical means capacitors of same value are connected in parallel, effective capacitance is n into C. In case of two capacitors, if these two values are same, then Cp is equal to 2 into C. If there are 3, 3 into C. If there are 4, 4 into C. Then in general, Cp is equal to n into C. Okay. So this is the expression for capacitance of two capacitors connected in parallel. Effective capacitance of combination of two capacitors in parallel. Okay. Important derivation. You can expect this for 3 marks in board exam, either series or parallel combination of capacitors. Okay. Next, one more combination is possible. Series combination and parallel combination, that are the two combinations. One more is possible, that is called mixed grouping of capacitors. Mixed grouping of capacitors. Okay. Mixed grouping of capacitor means combination of series and parallel together. Now, for example, a simple example. Okay. If you consider this particular circuit, now this is mixed grouping. These two capacitors are in parallel, that is parallel combination here. Next, this capacitor, this combination and this capacitor are in series, so it is series combination. So in this case there is series combination as well as parallel combination. Such type of problems you can expect in competitive exams. We will solve such type of problems in the next part. Okay, you will get a clear idea how to solve the problems if a circuit contains mixed grouping of capacitors. I think it is clear. The combination of capacitors, series and parallel, and one more possibility, that is in case of problems you may get mixed grouping of capacitors. Okay, I think it is clear. In the next part, let us solve. Now, let us solve 2 or 3 problems based on grouping of capacitors. Okay, grouping of capacitors. Now, the first problem is 3 capacitors, 2 microfarad, 3 microfarad and 5 microfarad are connected in series. What is the total capacitance of the combination? That is the first part, and the second part is, if the combination is connected to a 120 volt supply, what is the potential difference across the each capacitor? So it is based on series combination of 3 capacitors. The given problem is this one. 3 capacitors, so solution, so 3 capacitors are connected in series. So we have already discussed the concept of series combination. So the capacitors are said to be in series when only one path is available for flow of charges. And one important condition in case of series combination is when number of capacitors are connected in series, amount of charge stored in each capacitor is same, isn't it? One more thing, if you calculate the effective value, the charge stored in that effective capacitance will be same as charge stored in individual capacitor. Now this is the problem. First capacitor value is C1 is equal to 2 microfarad. Second value is C2 is equal to 3 microfarad. Okay, 3 microfarad. And third one is C3 is equal to 5 microfarad. Now these three capacitors are connected in series. Now what is the effective capacitance of the combination? That is the first question. What is the effective capacitance or total capacitance of the combination? So let us calculate the effective capacitance first. So solution for part A. We know that in series combination effective capacitance is represented as CS. S stands for series. So 1 over Cs is equal to 1 over C1 plus 1 over C2 plus 1 over C3. Okay, 3 capacitors. If it is the case of 2 capacitors, no, only 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. Now substitute the values. It is equal to 1 by 2 micro it is. So 2 into 10 power minus 6 plus 1 by 3 into 10 power minus 6, that is C2, plus 1 by 5 into 10 power minus 6. Okay, 5 into 10 power minus 6. So that is equal to, or on the left hand side we have 1 by Cs is equal to, now let us take the common denominator here, 30, yes, 30 into 10 power minus 6 over, if you multiply by 15 you will get 30 here, so it is 15, 10 times, therefore plus 10 plus 6. I think it is clear, 15 plus 10 plus 6. So 1 by Cs is equal to 10 plus 15, 25 plus 6, that is 31 divided by 30 into 10 to the power minus 6. Okay, 10 to the power minus 6. So that means 1 by Cs is equal to, now calculate the value. No, in the next step let us calculate the value. So that is equal to, I'll write here. Okay. So Cs is equal to, we want the effective capacitance, not 1 by Cs. So Cs is equal to, reciprocal of this is 30 into 10 power minus 6 divided by 31 is equal to, or Cs is equal to, so 30 divided by 31, let us calculate the value. So 30 divided by 31, it is equal to 0.9677, so 0.968 approximately. So into 10 to the power minus 6, effective capacitance Cs is equal to 0.968 microfarad. This is the capacitance. Okay, so capacitance. See, if you observe the effective capacitance of the combination, it is equal to 0.968, which is less than this 2 microfarad. Okay, always in case of series combination, when number of capacitors are connected in series, effective capacitance will be less than the minimum value of capacitance used in the combination. Okay, 2 microfarad is the minimum value, effective capacitance will be less than this. So series combination is used to obtain the smaller value, smaller effective value. If you want to get the smaller capacitance using larger values, you can opt a series combination. Now in this case, capacitance is given by this condition. Okay, Cs is equal to 0.968 microfarad. I think it is clear. Next, what is the second part? If the combination is connected to a 120 volt supply, what is the potential difference across each capacitor? What is the potential difference across each capacitor? That is the question. See now, you just note down this by pausing the video. The given condition is, now this series combination is connected to a potential difference of 120 volt. Series combination is connected to a potential difference of 120 volt. We know that in case of series combination, amount of charge stored in each capacitor is same, but what total applied voltage, if there are 3 capacitors, total applied voltage gets divided into 3 parts, that is potential difference across first, potential difference across second capacitor, and last potential difference across third capacitor, isn't it? So if there are 2 capacitors, total applied voltage will be divided into 2 parts. If there are 4 parts, totally applied voltage gets divided into 3 parts when 3 capacitors are connected in series. Now, what are the values of V1, V2 and V3? Now, how to calculate the potential difference? Now, we know the expression for potential difference. Potential difference is given by Q divided by C, that is in terms of amount of charge stored and capacitance of a capacitor. Potential difference across the capacitor is given by this formula. Now, using this formula, we have to calculate the values of V1, V2 and V3. Okay, V1, V2 and V3. Now, what is the value of C1, C2, C3 values are available. What is the value of Q? What is the value of Q here? To calculate the value of Q, just remember the conditions that we discussed while deriving this expression, that is effective capacitance of two capacitors in series. In case of series combination, charge stored in each capacitor. Now if Q1 is the amount of charge stored in first capacitor, that is equal to amount of charge stored in second capacitor is equal to charge stored in third capacitor is equal to charge stored in effective capacitor. Now if you replace this combination by a single capacitor of capacitance CS, and if you connect the same to 120 volt, then amount of charge stored in this capacitor will be equal to charge stored in individual capacitors. That is, this is the important property in case of series combination. So charge stored in this, charge stored in this, charge stored in this, and charge stored in the effective capacitance, it is the same. Therefore, this can be written as Qs is equal to, see in this case, so this is the end point, let it be V3, potential difference. Now if you replace this with a single capacitor, now the capacitance is CS, its value is 0.968 microfarad. We just calculated the value. Now this capacitor is connected to a potential difference of 120 volt. Okay, 120 volt. Then now this Qs can be written as amount of charge stored here can be written as Qs is equal to potential difference across this capacitor, that is 120 volt. I'll substitute the value later. So potential difference V into capacitance, that is Cs. I think it is clear. Qs, amount of charge stored in this capacitor, relation between charge, potential difference and capacitance. Qs is the amount of charge stored, V is the applied potential difference, Cs is the capacitance of this particular capacitor, it is equal to this much. Therefore, Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to Q3 is equal to Qs, I'll take it as Q because it is same, is equal to, what is the value? What is the value? V is 120 volt into capacitance of the effective capacitance is 0.6968 microfarad, that is 10 to the power minus 6. Okay, 0.968 into 10 power minus 6. Now if you multiply those values, 0.968 into 120, okay, 120, you will get 116.16 into 10 power minus 6. It is the charge, therefore it is measured in terms of coulomb. It is not capacitance, it is a unit of charge, coulomb. So now Q is equal to this much. 116.16 microcoulomb charge is stored in each capacitor of the series combination. Therefore, potential difference across, okay, so I'll write the next part here. I think it is clear. Amount of charge stored in each capacitor is equal to effective capacitance is equal to this much. Its value is 116.16 into 10 power minus 6 coulomb, that is the charge. Therefore, potential difference across capacitor C1, V1 is equal to Q divided by C1. Q is same, therefore I can use Q, not Q1 it is Q only, is equal to 116.16 into 10 power minus 6 divided by, it is microcoulomb, minus 6 divided by capacitance is 2 micro, that is 2 into 10 to the power minus 6. This 10 power minus 6, 10 power minus 6 cancels. 116.16 divided by 2 means it is 58, right? 58.08, 58.08 volt. 58.08 volt, that is the potential difference across second. So potential difference in case of C2, V2 is equal to again Q divided by C2. Q is 116.16 into 10 power minus 6 divided by capacitance is 3 micro. So 3 into 10 to the power minus 6. So 10 to the power minus 6, 10 to the power minus 6 cancels. Okay. So that is equal to, if you divide the values, 116.16 divided by 3, okay, divided by 3, you will get 38.72 volt, 38.72 volt. And last one, potential difference across third capacitor, V3 is equal to, okay, V3 is equal to Q divided by C3. So 116.16 divided by into 10 to the power minus 6 divided by capacitance is 5 microfarad. So 5 into 10 to the power minus 6. 10 power minus 6, 10 power minus 6 cancels. So 116.16 divided by 116.16 divided by 5 means it is 23.232 volt. Okay, 23.232 volt. So this is the potential difference across each capacitor. Okay. So first value is here 58.08, second value is here 38.72, and third value is 23.232. Now if you add these three values, okay, if you add these three values, you will get 120 volt. $58.08. So if you add these three values, you will get 120 volt, because 120 volt is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. So if you add these three values, answer will be 120 volt. So now this is how to solve series combination. Effective capacitance is given by the formula 1 over Cs is equal to 1 over C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. Okay, 1 by C3. For any number of capacitors, you can calculate the effective capacitance using the same formula. Then how to calculate the potential difference across each capacitor? First, use this concept to find the amount of charge stored in each capacitor, that is, charge stored in each capacitor is of same magnitude. So using that concept, first calculate the amount of charge stored, then charge divided by capacitance of the capacitor gives you the potential difference across each capacitor. Okay, I think it is clear. Next, let us move on to next problem, that is based on parallel combination of capacitors. Second problem, that is parallel combination of capacitors. So three capacitors, 2 microfarad, 4 microfarad and 7 microfarad are connected in parallel. The combination is parallel combination. First one is, what is the total capacitance of the combination? First question is, what is the total capacitance of the combination? And second one is, if the combination is connected to a 100 volt supply, determine the charge on each capacitor. If it is connected, combination is connected to 100 volt supply, what is the potential amount of charge stored in each capacitor? Now we have three capacitors. First capacitor, second capacitor, and third capacitor. Now these three are connected in parallel. Okay. We know that in case of parallel combination, when this combination is connected to some external battery, number of paths or more than one path is available for the flow of charge. Charge will flow in this part as well as this part. So number of paths are available for flow of charge. But if you consider the potential difference, see, each capacitor is connected between same 2 points. If I consider this as point B and this as point A, each capacitor is connected between same points. Therefore, potential difference across each capacitor is same. In series, amount of charge is same. In parallel combination, potential difference across each capacitor is same. Now, capacitance C1, let it be C2 and C3. C1 is equal to 2 microfarad, C2 is equal to 4 microfarad, and C3 is equal to 7 microfarad. So these are the three capacitors which are connected in parallel. Therefore, effective capacitance or total capacitance of the combination, total capacitance CP, P stands for parallel. Okay, CP is equal to, we know the formula, simply add the capacitance values C1 plus C2 plus C3. Effective capacitance is given by CP is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. So that is equal to, substitute the values, 2 microfarad, 2 into 10 power minus 6 plus 4 into 10 power minus 6 plus 7 into 10 power minus 6. Total it is equal to 2 plus 4, 6, 6 plus 7, 13. 13 into 10 power minus 6 microfarad. Sorry, not 10 to the power minus 6 farad, which means effective capacitance CP is equal to 13 microfarad. Okay, in parallel combination, to find the effective capacitance, just add the capacitance of individual capacitors. Always you will get a larger value. So using smaller values of capacitors, if you want to get the larger value of capacitance, then go for parallel combination. Okay, parallel combination. Now CP is equal to 13 microfarad. This is the answer for first part, that is answer for first part A. Next, let us solve the second part, that is what is the amount of charge stored in each capacitor. See, in case of parallel combination, potential difference across each capacitor is same. Okay, potential difference across each capacitor is same. So that is V1 potential difference across first, V2 is equal to V3 is equal to, given that the capacitor, combination of capacitors are connected across a 100 volt supply, that is 100 volt battery. So if it is connected like this, potential difference across each capacitor can be represented as V only, because it is same, is equal to 100 volt in this case. Okay, 100 volt in this case. Therefore, amount of charge stored in first capacitor, amount of charge stored in C1, it can be represented as Q1 is equal to, potential is the same, that is equal to V into its capacitance C1. Okay, so that is equal to V is 100 into capacitance of the capacitor is 2 microfarad. So 2 into 10 power minus 6 is equal to 200 into 10 power minus 6, therefore 200 microcoulomb. Okay, so 10 power minus 6 is coulomb, 200 microcoulomb is the amount of charge stored in first capacitor. Similarly, in case of second capacitor, okay, second capacitor, Q2 is equal to V into C2, that is 4 into 10, sorry, not 4, 100 is the potential difference, capacitance is 4 into 10 power minus 6, that is equal to 400 microcoulomb. Amount of charge stored is equal to 400 microcoulomb. Okay, last one, charge stored in third capacitor C3, it is equal to Q3 is equal to V into C3, that is V is 100 into capacitance of third capacitor is 7 microfarad, 7 into 10 power minus 6 is equal to 700 microcoulomb. microcoulomb. Okay, that is the value of Q3. So this is the answers. These are the answers for second part: charge in first capacitor, charge in second capacitor, and charge in third capacitor, 700 microcoulomb. Okay, I think it is clear. Okay. In the next class, let us solve a few more problems that is related to combination of capacitors as well as before that, let us solve one more problem. Okay. Now, one simple problem. Okay, find the total capacitance between A and B in the following network. A circuit will be given to you. In that circuit, what is the effective capacitance between 2 points? Let us take this condition. This is called mixed grouping of capacitors. Okay, mixed grouping of capacitors. Now, what will be the capacitance between these 2 points, that is A and B? Let it be 2 microfarad, then 3 microfarad, 6 microfarad, some 2 microfarad again, 1 microfarad, and some 4 microfarad. Now, what is the effective capacitance between the points A and B in this network, or find the total capacitance between A and B in this network? Now, how to simplify this? So, when the circuit is given and if you are asked to calculate the total capacitance of the combination, what we have to do is reduce the circuit step by step. Okay, simplify the circuit step by step. Now, let us consider, or let us start the solution. Point A, no change in first part, 2 microfarad capacitor is as it is. Okay, let it be C1, then C2, C3, C4. Okay, C1, C2, C3, C4. Let it be C5 and let it be C6. Okay, C6. No change in C1. C1 is as it is. Next, if you consider this part of the circuit, okay, this part of the circuit, C2 and C3 are in series. This is the series combination of two capacitors. So I can calculate the effective value of capacitance in this series combination. So effective value of capacity this combination, I'll represent it as C23. Let us calculate the value. Okay. Next capacitor, that is C4, it is as it is, no change, C4. Next, if you consider this part, again these two capacitors are in series, C5 and C6. Okay, C5 and C6 are in series. So I can calculate the effective capacitance. Now this becomes C56. C1 is there. Okay, C1 as it is. Effective value of these two, C23. C4 is retained as it is. Next it is C56, effective value of these two capacitors. In the next step, what we can do is, first of all, let us find the values. Now, what is C23? C23 is nothing but it is the effective capacitance of series combination of these two. So, in case of series combination of two capacitors, either we can use 1 by Cs is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2, or we can use Cs is equal to C1 C2 divided by C1 plus C2. Okay, for two capacitor problems this is easier. Okay, C1 C2 divided by C1 plus C2. Now C23 is nothing but it is the series combination of C2 and C3. I'll use this formula. You can solve using this formula also. I'll use this formula. Instead of CS, C23, that is effective capacitance, C1 and C2, this is what we considered while deriving the expression. Now instead of C1 and C2, we have C2 and C3. Just to modify the equation. C23 is equal to C2 into C3 divided by C2 plus C3. Substitute the values. C2 is 3 micro, 3 into 10 power minus 6 into second value is 6 micro, 6 into 10 power minus 6 divided by 3 plus 6 into 10 power minus 6, isn't it? So C23 is equal to this much, 1 10 power minus 6 cancels, so it is equal to 3 into 6 18 into 10 power minus 6 divided by, in the denominator it is 9, so 18 by 9 is 2, so C23 is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 6, so 2 into 10 power minus 6 means 2 microfarad. So we got the value of C23. Now C23 is equal to 2 microfarad. I think it is clear. Similarly, C56 is the series combination of these two. So we can calculate C56 using the same formula. Instead of C1 and C2, we have C5 and C6. So C5, C6 divided by C5 plus C6. Okay, C5, C6 divided by C5 plus C6. Substitute the values. 1 micro, 1 into 10 power minus 6 into, second value is 4 micro, 4 into 10 power minus 6 divided by 1 into 10 power minus 6 plus, okay, 1 plus 4, 10 power minus 6 is common, take it outside, 1 plus 4 into 10 power minus 6. 10 power minus 6 cancels here, remaining is 4 into 1, 4 into 10 power minus 6 divided by 4 plus 1 is 5. So 4 divided by 5, it is equal to 0.8. 10 power minus 6 is there, so 0.8 microfarad. Okay, so C5 is equal to 0.8 microfarad. So we got two effective capacitances. So effective capacitance between these 2 points is C23. Effective capacitance between these 2 points is C56, it is 0.8. C4 is 2 microfarad. Okay, I think it is clear. Yes, next, let us move on to next step. Point A, first capacitor, that is C1 is equal to 2 microfarad, no change, keep it as it is. Now we can reduce this branch or this part of the circuit. Now C23 and C4 are in parallel. So we can calculate the effective value of those two parallel or this parallel combination. 2, 3 and 4. I'll write it as C2, 3, 4. Okay, effective capacitance of these two capacitors, C23 and C4, okay, I'll represent it as C234. So it is a single capacitor. I replaced this by a single capacitor, followed by another capacitor, that is, this is C234. Last one, that is C56, is equal to 0.8 microfarad. This is our point B. So from here we reduced the circuit to this, then to this point. Now let us calculate C234. Now these two capacitors are in parallel, okay, parallel combination. So in case of parallel combination, we know that Cp is equal to C1 plus C2 for two capacitors. Now in this case, effective value, where instead of Cp we used the notation C234. Therefore C234 is equal to, instead of C1 we have C23, C2 we have C4 plus C4, substitute the values. C23 is 2 into 10 power minus 6 plus, again it is 2 microfarad, so 2 into 10 power minus 6, total it is, that is C234 is equal to, 2 plus 2, 4 into 10 to the power minus 6, so 4 microfarad. Now the C234 value is is equal to 4 microfarad. Okay, now last step. Now between the points A and B, only three capacitances are remaining: C1, C234, and lastly C56. Okay, we started with the 6 capacitors. In this case, it is reduced to 4. Now it is reduced to 3. Now what is the capacitance between these 2 points? That is the effective value of these 3. Now C1, C234 and C56. C4 is equal to 2 microfarad. Let it be here only. Okay, now C56, C234, C1. These 3 are in series. So now this series combination can be replaced by a single capacitor. Now point A and point B. Now this is our point B. So replace this series combination by a single capacitor. I'll represent this capacitor as CAB. Now what is CAB? CAB is nothing but it is the total capacitance of these 3 capacitors in series. Okay. So if you calculate this value, this will be the answer for the problem. Okay. Now we know that in series combinations 1 by Cs is equal to, now 3 capacitors are there, therefore it is not possible to use this equation. So 1 by Cs is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3 formula. Now we represented effective value as CAB, capacitance between A and B, is equal to first capacitor C1 only, so 1 by C1 plus second capacitor in the series combination is 1 by C234, okay, C234, and last one in the combination is 1 by, last capacitor is C56. Substitute the values. So it is equal to 1 by C1 is 2 microfarad, so 2 into 10 to the power minus 6, okay, 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 plus C234 is 4 microfarad, so 1 by 4 into 10 to the power minus 6 plus last one last capacitor, that is 1 by C56 is 0.8 microfarad, so 0.8 microfarad, that is 0.8 into 10 to the power minus 6. Okay, so 1 by CAB is equal to, now this can be written as 4 is the common denominator, 4 into 10 to the power minus 6 over 2 into 2 plus 1, so 0.8 into 5 gives 4, 0.8 into 5 gives 4, therefore into 5. So 1 by CAB is equal to 2 plus 3, sorry, 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 5 8, 8 divided by 4 into 10 to the power minus 6, 8 divided by 4 into 10 to the power minus 6. Okay, so therefore we want the value of capacitance, therefore CAB is equal to, CAB is reciprocal of this, that is 4 into 10 to the power minus 6 divided by 8, 4 ones 4, 2 times, that is 1 by 2, 1 by 2 means 0.5 into 10 to the power minus 6 farad, or it is equal to 0.5 microfarad. So 0.5 microfarad is CAB. Total capacitance between the points A and B in the given circuit, between these 2 points, total capacitance is equal to 0.5 microfarad. Okay, so 0.5 microfarad. You can expect such type of question in competitive exams. A circuit will be given to you and you have to calculate the capacitance between the points, mentioned points. Now it is mentioned as capacitance between A and B, therefore we calculated the capacitance between 2 points. So reduce the circuit. First step, we reduced this one to a single capacitor. In the next step, this combination is reduced to single capacitor. In the last step, 3 are in series, so we calculated the effective capacitance using this formula. Okay. First of all, try to decide which capacitors are in series and which capacitors are in parallel, and using the expressions for effective capacitance, you can simplify the circuit. I think it is clear. Yes.